Okay, so there's like a wacky, almost funny element to this story, and then there's a very real, scary, politically substantive element to this story. We're going to start with a video from, it's so hard to even say what this is. I believe that this is a Christian church, okay? And this is a rant at a Christian church about how the right, the religious right, wants to take control of the educational system and use the educational system to indoctrinate students with a conservative, right-wing, reactionary, Christian, Bible-based worldview as they see it. This is really scary. Now, what's the wacky part about it? Well, I can't tell whether this is a Christian church or an insane asylum. There's people screaming. You'll notice that while the guy on the microphone is ranting, you'll hear other voices. And if you're watching, you'll see people in the background talking over the guy. At one point, it seems like the guy is speaking in tongues, I think, although I'm not an expert in speaking in tongues. And this is a movement where I can't tell whether this is a church or an insane asylum. Take a look at this.
Now, Lord, according to your word, we take authority over our education system. And Lord, we call for righteousness in our education system, truth in our education system, justice in our education system.
I think the woman over the guy's right shoulder just keeps saying, that's right, that's right, that's right. That's right. I don't, it seems almost like this is it seems like the spirit has overtaken them.
We cast down that demonic hold of indoctrination in our education system.
So anyway, now the guy's casting a spell, I guess, to take control of schools.
And God, we declare that there's no education outside of the word of the living God. There's no true education outside of
the other. Oh, whoa, hold on. I almost talked over the tongues. Hold on a second.
Education outside of the
right. So, extremely dangerous view about education. We want to take over education with Christianity, but also they're speaking in tongues and screaming, and it seems like everybody should be medicated.
Word of the living God. We declare according to your word that all of our children shall be disciples, taught of the Lord, and great shall be the peace and undisturbed composure of our children. So God, we call for righteousness in every level of education. I call forth righteousness.
Does anybody know why everybody's talking over this guy in the background? I mean, it's a bizarre scene.
Superintendents, righteous teachers, righteous principals, righteousness now. And that by righteousness and the word of righteousness, the demonic and the deception and the evil that is taught in the classroom would be driven out by the hand of God. Driven out by the hand of God. Driven out now by the hand of God. And God, I thank you for young people who are taught according to your word in Jesus.
So I don't even really understand what the hell is going on there. But the really serious part is they want to take over public education. And now for a slightly just as wrong, but less obviously out of their mind view on this, we go to a clip of Tony Perkins. Tony Perkins, the well-known homophobic right-wing Christian activist that we've followed for a long time on the show. He said, well, listen, we want young conservatives to go into teaching in public schools so that we can put our Christian worldview into public schools, despite the fact that that's against the law. There's supposed to be separation of church and state. You're not supposed to be teaching Christianity other than as a comparative religious type class in public schools. This is their plan. Listen to Tony Perkins.
I don't think we should abandon the public schools. I encourage young people who want to go into the teaching profession to see the public schools as a mission field. We cannot abandon it. We need to run for the school board. We need to be teachers. We need to be administrators, but we don't need to sacrifice our children.
Understand what he means by the public schools are a mission field. He's talking about missionaries in the same way that missionaries would go to, over the years, they would go to Brazil and make first contact in the Amazon and try to convert people to Christianity. He's saying, see the public schools as a mission field where we go in and do the exact same thing.
in that environment. So I am not saying we abandon the public schools. Too many kids are going to continue to go there, but it shouldn't be our kids. We should send our kids as teachers and instructors.
Right. So what Tony Perkins is saying is, and think about, this is Dark Ages stuff. This is, let's do the following. Here's the idea. Our kids, we send to Christian private schools where they get, or we do Christian homeschooling, which is, remember, the overwhelming majority of homeschooling in the U.S. is Christian oriented. I think 75, close to 80% of it. Their kids, they do Christian homeschooling or Christian private schools, but then they still infect the public schools with their ideology by taking the kids who went to the Christian private schools, having them go into teaching, and then send them into the public schools also to teach Christianity and to see it as a mission field, as they say, to be missionaries in public schools, which, at least in theory, are supposed to abide by separation of church and state. This is really scary stuff. So, like, listen, I get it. The guy speaking in tongues, it's crazy, where we say medicate everyone, psych eval, 72-hour hold, but they have money, at least some. They're well organized, relatively speaking. And this is exactly what they're telling us what they're planning to do. And we know it's what they're planning to do. And when you look at the level of organization, I mean, look, when the school mask and vaccine stuff got going during COVID, as the vaccines came out, that level of organization, it was a lot of these same people who were showing up to the school board meetings. They are organized. There's no doubt about it. And so if we don't take this threat seriously, they may be far more successful than maybe we're willing to admit.